It's always a pleasure to have the highly regarded professionals still come back and want to engage with me and my fellow professionals. And guys, please ask as many questions. Those difficult questions was being asked the pass rate for CGMAs in CIMA, in their CA, in passing CA at first attempt. Ask her how she did it because I want 100% pass rate.
Thank you, Ere. Thank you for having me. I am going to project from my end. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Okay, I cannot share. Are you able to enable the sharing option?
Sorry, I'm on mute. Ribu, Angela, can you please assist Nomfundo? But yeah, I think let me see. Yeah, maybe they can assist you. I thought you were one of the presenters on this session. You should have been able to share.
I think I used my personal Teams and not the Endunam one.
Still, I think you were made as one of the presenters, so you should be able to share. Ribu, are you able to assist, please? Nomfundo, I think in the meanwhile, while the team sorts you out, you can maybe progress so that we don't lose much time. And once you're able to share, they will confirm.
Okay, good evening once again, everybody. My name is Nomfundo Morale. I am a CASA as well as CGMA. So I will take you through my journey and what it took me to get to where I am currently. My journey was a lengthy one to get to where I am. It took me about 13 years, and this is post matriculating in 2011. So I think I share this background just to bring you closer to who I am and what it took for me to actually be where I am. I started with my diploma in accounting from 2012 to 2014 and advanced my studies and did my advanced diploma in financial management in 2015. So I always laugh at this because I pivoted into financial management, trying to run away from auditing because at that point I was adamant I wanted nothing to do with auditing. In 2016, I did my honors in financial management and had to repeat one module in 2017, which was E3 strategy. So I went in the whole of 2017 repeating E3. It wasn't nice. It was a long year, but luckily for me, I had started working in one of the Big Four banks as a risk analyst, and I've since grown there as a financial accountant as well as a financial manager to date. In 2024, I then qualified as CGMA. So between 2017 and 2024, I wrote my management case study. I had done the FLP program. Um, Unfortunately, I failed my management case study the first attempt, went in again, passed on the second attempt, did my strategy case study, and I also passed on first attempt and qualified with the PR that I did, qualified in 2024. Same in 2024, I then joined the Endunamo ABC program And in the very same month when I joined in May, I actually started a new role in a new business unit. So I moved from being a financial manager into being a cost accountant manager. So I also highlight that because I am not sure what I was doing there, but it did work out. Then I did my APC program 4 year with Endunamo in 2025 and finally qualified as a CASA in 2026. So what shaped my journey was perseverance through all the challenges that I faced, balancing work and studies, because it is quite a steep and a challenging period to be in, continuous learning and self-discipline, commitment to long-term goals, as well as faith, resilience, and intentional support systems. And this came through different aspects from the Endunamo team, from family, from friends, and you'll get to understand why I highlight on that. And I am then jumping into why APC. Initially, after qualifying as CGMA, okay. Initially, after qualifying as CGMA, I thought, what next? Because I am in the bank and I've reached the ceiling in terms of the roles. Because I'm not a CA and there is no way I could be a CFO one day if I'm not a CA. And at that time, I believed I had a significant technical gap and had considered doing CTA because I did not know about Endunamo and what it offers and this APC program that we get to go through. I spoke to one of the ladies who's already a qualified CASA, and she asked me why I would want to go through that exhausting and very long process in terms of getting to being a CA if we have this route. I was then advised of Endunamo and what it offers. I attended an open day just like you today, and I was sold. I never looked back. I had been a UJ student prior. I knew what they offered, but I did believe that it was time for me to change. So I didn't even look at the other two offerings. So what really attracted me to Endunamo was everything that Ere showed in the last screen in terms of what they offer, in terms of the material that they offer, in terms of the test that we take in class, the virtual classes that you get. Yes, unfortunately, it does take away time from you in terms of your evenings, in terms of your Saturdays, but it is an investment that is worth making. So one of the things that tie into what Ere said is everything they offer builds a strong technical foundation. And for me, being part of the APC program actually allowed me to measure the gap that I had in terms of my technical aspects. I knew I wasn't an A student, hence I took you through my journey, seeing that I started from a diploma and all my failed attempts into getting my qualifications. So even with this, I knew the technical gap was there. I had never been exposed to a standard before. I had never been exposed to a lot of the things such as tax for quite a few years, such as auditing when I moved actually into doing my financial management. So getting access to all the material that Endunamo had to offer put me at ease, and I realized that it was possible. So for me, it was also the advantage of the tutorial sessions because these help you build a community. I think the one thing I did enjoy the most was the intimate classes because the ABC classes aren't as huge and you build a community from there. I know with the CTA videos, we'd even laugh about how we've mastered listening to them at 1.5 speed, at a 2 speed, because you were constantly trying to catch up. in terms of the information. It also helps you build discipline, and it encourages discipline. Because from the word go, like I said, you get to measure your technical gap. You get to understand how much time you need to put in. Because yes, we probably come from the same background, but no two people are the same. And what takes me 2 hours would probably take you 3 hours, or it would probably take the next person 4 hours. And only you can measure that. Eric cannot tell you how much time to spend on a certain topic that you've looked at. The structure is there, the timetable is there, you know what's expected of you. And that's what I mean when I say it encourages discipline, because your phase notes are there, your timetable is there, you get to prepare before you even get to class, and that allows you to be able to engage with the lecturers, see where you are going wrong, and that also builds quite a lot of confidence. It also sets the tone of what awaits you in APC. One thing I like is the structure and how they phase the different modules in terms of the concentration, because you're not overwhelmed with auditing, with accounting, with math, as well as tax. So you get to take it easy. It's not as fast paced as APC. You get to APC and you're literally on the fast lane. You're driving at 180 speed. So with APC, you actually get to ease yourself into the program. You get to see where you are actually lacking, and you get to concentrate more on that. So it is structured. It's also the foundation that develops your integrated thinking. And this will come in more in your APC program, but you start getting to understand what they mean more about your integrated thinking. And it is also something that you are exposed to from a CIMA perspective. It also enhances your time management. For me, like I said, because the structure is there, because the timetable is there, you get to see when to focus what exactly. And because you know that this is an investment you are putting in, you sacrifice quite a lot. I think for me, because I started in May up until last year, I knew that I was sacrificing a year and a half of my time, and I was giving it my all, and that's what had worked for me. So initially, when I then went into APC, I knew already the content that I would need to cover, and the magnitude of the knowledge I would need to cover, the technical gaps that I would need to cover. And more than anything, it also allows you to be familiar with the platform when the time comes for APC, as well as navigating your standards. As if you haven't done your CTA, you've done your CIMA route. These are probably new to you, and you've never seen them before. I started seeing them in 2024 when I joined the APC program. I wasn't sure how to navigate them, and this allowed me to actually navigate them. And one thing that was always said by one of the lecturers was that it only makes sense the third time around. I did not understand what that meant, because what do you mean I'm not going to understand something when we cover it in class during the APC program? And I had a lot of oh yeah moments only in my APC program, because that is when I did it probably the third or the fourth time and it made sense. So I had a picture here, that a picture of a house, to say actually the end goal is to get to the house, but what matters more is the foundation. And I said the strength and stability of any building depends upon its foundation. And for me, this is what APC was for me. I know there is a video that I've seen prior that talks about how actually expensive a foundation could be compared to the house that you are actually building, or the structure that you are building, because there's quite a lot of work that goes into the foundation that you built. And this is what happens in the ABC program. Okay. Ere, would you like me to cover the how the two would then integrate. Not sure if it is still online. Okay, so I am comfortable with what I've shared because then everything else would then jump into the integration and what APC did for me. Okay, in terms of doing both programs with Endunamo. So for me as why both matter and the role that they played in terms of where I found myself. So for me, it was the technical foundation that I had touched on. And there is a if you could, not sure if you're still sharing, there is a picture that you would commonly see that the team would share with you. I think Ere, you still share it even today. I know Rindani does share it in terms of the integrated thinking, where it says it's your professional values and attitudes, your technical competencies, as well as enabling competencies. So all of that, you get to understand how it interlinks into getting you to the end goal. You also are exposed to the 9 competency framework. You're not exposed to it now. It doesn't matter now, but you get to understand once you get to your APC. And more than anything, the integrated thinking that I highlighted, because this is the one thing that you need to get to the end goal. It also develops your judgment, your ethics, and decision making. You will see once you start structuring, and I think it also ties back to the question that Raymond asked, which I will answer after this, to say it develops judgment, your ethics, and your decision making, as well as your communication and time management. It also gets you to improved case writing ability. There was an academic head. Each time you participated in class and you thought you answered everything the right way or you've hit the nail, then he'd ask, then what? And that is when you would be forced to actually think about what it is that you are saying or what it is that you are trying to respond to. And it also enhances your confidence under exam conditions more than anything. And yeah, for me, there's a slide, and I'm not sure if you're still sharing on your end because I am referring to my slides. In terms of how it looked like, how the journey looked like. So in terms of how to survive and thrive. So what I said was it's starting early. And you do get to have that exposure currently to start early by getting into the APC program. That is putting yourself a step ahead. I think for me, by the time I started my APC program in early Jan, I had already set out how I was going to cover the program, how I was going to structure my studying, how I was going to listen to the videos, and that started very early in the year. So you start early and you become consistent. Make use of YouTube videos on mistakes to avoid. But more than anything, Endunamo has all the content that you need. The platform has all the content that you need. Your CTA videos, your consultations, always make use of that because you do pay for that and they do put you a step ahead. For me, it's also asking for support, both from an Endunamo perspective, from the Wellness Hub, the motivation that they share on a daily basis, it does actually keep you going. And more than anything, pay it forward, put in the work, whether you are. I know with the APC program, you don't necessarily write exams, but pay it forward. Treat it as if you are preparing to write an exam at the end of the year, and you'll see how you've put in the work without even realizing it. So then also focus on application, not your memorization. Prioritize your mental health and physical health. It does take a toll on you, but if you prioritize your mental health, your physical health, and balance everything, you'll get to understand why everything matters. And more than anything, trust the process. Like I said, Endunamo material is sufficient. I don't think you need more. I've seen quite a lot of people actually joining more than one program. Not sure how they did it. It was quite overwhelming. I did touch base with 2 or 3 of them this year, and some of them are still repeating. And I think it's from being overwhelmed. So trust the process. There is sufficient material. If anything, actually, Endunamo will overwhelm you with the material that they provide. So use that and do your consultations, participate in class, and take all these things seriously. Your attempts, take them seriously, submit them, check where you are, and that will help you plan better and know where you need to put in more time. Then find something you draw strength from, whether it's codes or playlists. It's a journey that needs strength. So you are able to do it alone, but I always say that I couldn't have done it without God. So yeah, that is me. It is not a linear process, but you will find yourself there. So do not compare your journey with anyone else. Like I said, no two people are the same. You could be friends. It could take me 2 hours. It could take the next person 5 hours. And understand that setbacks are part of growth, and stay disciplined and focused. That is it from me.
Thank you very much, Nomfundo. I'm not sure about overwhelming you. We were not overwhelming you. We call it empowering you.
It
Why you
is.
wanna scare my professionals
No,
now?
no, no.
We
It's
were
not a
just
bad
empowering.
overwhelm. You were empowering. The information was there. Basically, you don't need to go outside. You don't need to go research. You don't need to go to even find past papers on Psycha, because Endunamo has you covered.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Nomfundo.
Thank you,
Truly appreciate your presence, and thank you for coming through. I like I said that for me, it's always important to hear from someone who has just recently walked the journey, and also to have that perspective of saying that. I like the part of saying that we may all reach that same destination, but the way we get there is different, and we should not benchmark or compare our journeys with the next person, because that can be overwhelming on its own. One is just to focus on their journey. Thank you so much also for coming through. I truly appreciate it. Maybe in the next and thank you for helping me keep my time. I think one of the 9 competency there is time management. My session is going to end on time, regardless me overrunning a bit. Maybe 2 questions. Any questions for Nomfundo, please?
I see there was one from Raymond. I hope he is a guy. But the question was, what motivated you to choose Endunamo over other providers? So it is something that I already touched on, but similarly, I had a friend of the brand that, weird enough, she marks for what's the one in Cape Town, Ere? Something. I didn't even look, but yeah, she marks for them, but she was vouching for Endunamo. And when I looked at the structure, I realized that this is what would get me through the line. Like I said, I knew my technical gap was very significant, and I was ready to actually go through the CTA route. So when I saw how the structure was, I knew this was something that would work for me. I see your hand is up, Raymond.
Thank you very much. So I thought I would just answer this, respond to. So how did you balance your work and studies? Did you have to take time off every time you have a test? How did you balance that?
During ABC?
During APC, yeah.
No, not with APC. I think the way that the APC is structured, you are able to navigate within the weekends and during the week. So I think the one thing that I did highlight also at the beginning of my presentation is that when I started APC, I actually started a new business unit and I started in a completely new role. So that was just a mess, but I was able to balance it out. So you don't need to use your leave for APC. It's just
Okay.
putting in the time, it's putting in the hours on a daily basis. And that's where I said start early and be consistent. Also your time management and your discipline, that's where it comes in. But in terms of your tests, it would be class tests during class hours. It wouldn't affect anything when it comes to work.
All right. Thank you very much. And then the very last one is that 5-day period where you're given like a pre-scene. How did you manage that time? Did you like lock yourself in a room for 5 days? Like, how did you navigate that?
I think you're referring to APC now.
APC, correct? Yeah.
Eric, can I touch on that?
Yes, please. Yes, I think that will still be useful for those who just want to see how you navigate
The
the
5
PRI,
days.
given it's 5 days over. Maybe if you're coming from SEMA, you might be used to your tuition providers even helping you and so forth.
Okay. So, firstly, I believe in rest. So I would take half day the Thursday so I can sleep. I'm not studying the Thursday. Get the PRI on Friday, and I chased everyone in my house away. My husband, my dog, my son, and my helper, because they were a bit of distraction. So if that works for you, you are able to do that. So I'd have the house to myself. Luckily, we have family around. So I'd have the house to myself and I'd still lock myself in the room. So that's how it looked like. My day, I started it, although we were exposed to the PRI early on the Friday, when we did it with Indunamu, I would still start at 8 because I was trying to train myself for SAICA, understanding that SAICA only gives it to you at 8. So I would wake up, have my heavy breakfast, prepare for the day, start printing, and only start at 8. So on day 1, which is the Friday, I start reading the case study the first time around, and then I start working on my industry research based on the case study that they've provided us. You already have a team. I had a very amazing team. So we already had a timetable in terms of the structure and how we would tackle each email. So we would meet up around 12 the Friday to discuss our industry research, because by then we would have done our research, and we will then look at which email is not too heavy, that would still concentrate on the Friday, and the rest of the emails we do them between Saturday and Sunday. So that's about between 5-6 emails that we would concentrate on. Then the Monday we are done with. So in between the research that we do the Friday, the Saturday, we'd still meet and discuss, go through what we've covered for each email, because it would be a different discipline each time. Then the Monday, you just wrap up your research. We're not starting any new email. We do meet up, we close up the day, and we are done. Then the Tuesday would just be finalizing printing, going through your file, knowing your file from top to bottom, understanding it, flagging it, and you rest early in the day. So on my Tuesday, I would sleep at 8 p.m. and get ready for the Wednesday. So that's how my 5 days would look like. So in between, I know with my team in the timetable, there would be breaks. Unfortunately, I am not as quick as everyone else. So my research would overlap within breaks. I know I said I chased everyone away, but for my final, exam, my husband was around, so at least he helped me navigate with getting food in between, because I could not actually take the breaks to actually eat. So yeah, that's how I'd navigate the 5 days. And it's quite possible also because the PRI is not as huge as the CIMA one. So CIMA has quite a lot of pages. SAICA does not, and it's more concentrated. It's more focused on a topic.
Thank you very much for sharing that, Nomfunda.
You're welcome.
Right. Let me see. Are there any other? I don't see questions on the chat. I don't see any hands. But yeah, I think, and I see a couple of people have already dropped off. I think we got the message across, Mfundo, and thank you for sharing your journey as well. Truly thank you. And for everyone who is here, who attended the session, I truly appreciate your time you invested in just getting to come here and hear how our program is structured. I'm looking forward to engaging with each one of you. You are welcome. Even for those you just want to register and to get the invoice, whether to just see how everything goes. Once you're registered, you get the Indunamo credentials. You're welcome to just drop me a message there on Viva, and then we can engage from there. But otherwise, like I said, the team would have shared also the consultation booking link. I'm looking forward to engaging with each one of you, because for me, what's important is having your journey, structuring your journey to make sure that you succeed. And I look forward to partnering with you as you do that. And thank you so much and have a good evening. Cheers. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.